Welcome back to the Todd Starnes Show. I'm Ed Henry, filling in today in California. Heated debate going on at Riverside Unified School District at a board meeting after a girls' volleyball team decided to forfeit a game to an opponent with a transgender player. Here's what one parent who spoke out in support of the girls' decision had to say.
They came here last year and told all of you guys, I do not want to compete against a male. And thank God that they didn't play. Who made the decision? Not the coach. No, it was the girls. So there. Miscommunication, right? The girls. Great job, Poly girls. We stand with you. Keep fighting, because these parents that support their confused child are the problem.
Joining me now, Amanda Vickers. She's a board member at the Riverside Unified School District. Welcome to the show. You expressed your thoughts about the girls forfeiting games, and you were attacked on social media. What were people saying to you? What does it feel like to speak out on this issue and say it should only be girls in girls sports?
Well, thank you for having me. And before I want to start, that I am speaking as an individual, not on behalf of the school district.
Sure.
This has been very interesting. I was elected and this girls' sports issue popped up, and it seems like it's common sense. Common sense says there are differences between boys and girls and that we need to protect our girls. I don't see any of the adults in the room standing up for these girls, and I view it as it is my honor as a school board member to stand up and say, hey, someone has to stand for these girls. The girls at Poly High School, they should be celebrated for standing up. We're raising our future leaders here in Southern California. It's my understanding that other schools are also starting to forfeit. And it is time for these girls to say, yes, I don't want to play against the boy, and to exercise their voices. Yeah. And their voices are powerful.
They certainly are, and that's why we're highlighting them here on Newsmax, so we appreciate you speaking out. We understand you're speaking personally. Without disparaging anyone, I just want to get a feel for it, because I understand you're in a difficult spot being on the board. What are other board members saying? Is there divide? Are there people on the board actually standing up for a man playing in women's sports?
Tough question to answer. They stand behind California state law, which currently allows for any individual, based on their gender identity, to play wherever they want.
So they fall back on the easy thing, which is, well, I don't want to take a stand. This is what the law says. And this is what Newsom basically said. What do you think about your governor? Because I heard Gavin Newsom on Charlie Kirk's podcast, I think, some weeks back, saying, I've kind of thought a lot about this after the last election when the Democrats had their butts handed to them, and maybe that doesn't make sense. And then he went right back after that interview to his normal position, which is it's okay for men to be in women's sports. What do you think about the governor who wants to go national now?
I believe he is a hypocrite, and he is the wrong choice for this country. Straight up, that's an example, right, of his flip-flopping statements. You either stand for our girls and create opportunities for our girls, or just be honest and say you don't. Right? To me, it's common sense, and there are still some of us in California that have common sense and want to fight for our constituents. I was elected as a change maker. I have an interesting story. I beat all the odds when I was elected, and I view it as I'm here to protect. I've been put here for a reason. I've been put here because I'm different, and the people in California are tired of the status quo, including Gavin Newsom.
Incredible. Last 30 seconds we have. You used a phrase a couple of times that caught my ear as somebody who covers national politics, not just the local stuff that we're talking about now, which obviously goes national, which you keep saying it's common sense. And that's something that President Trump hit on in the last campaign. And it seemed like it connected with people. We used to argue this issue about men and women's sports from different angles of the biology and this and that. And then Donald Trump just said, it's common sense. You agree?
I do. I stand 100% behind our president. One thing he says is he's what stands between us and chaos. Well, I hope to stand between, these girls and keeping them safe.
Well, we're glad you're standing up for these young girls. And I find it interesting that some of them are now forfeiting. You're saying it's not just this district, that maybe it's spreading. That might be the way to have this sort of protest, if you will, with a mighty punch to say we're tired of it, and maybe they'll change the law there in California and change the policies. Amanda Vickers, you're a very brave woman. We appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Coming up,